Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about skin and skincare and skin prep and how that helps with makeup application, because you guys are all beauty junkies like me and we love applying foundation and we love creating makeup looks, but it doesn't always turn out the way that we want it to if our skin isn't the way that we want it to be. And I have struggled my whole life with my skin. I have dealt with acne, I have dealt with enlarged pores, oily skin, dry skin, flaky skin, dehydrated skin. I feel like I've been through the whole spectrum. I'm also sort of maybe starting to get a few fine lines, which is not super exciting, but something that I'm going to have to deal with in the future as well. So for me, skincare is paramount, and I wanted to be able to share with you a little bit more information about the Clarisonic, which is a product that I have used for quite a while. Some of you who've been watching my videos for a long time will recognize this. I have done reviews on this product. I have shown it in videos, shown it in skincare routines, and it's something that's served me well over the past, I think, about 6 years. Recently, I went to an event where I was taught a little bit more about the Clarisonic and what it could do for my skin, and I was gifted a Mia 2 to try, and I thought now would be the perfect time to get back into using my Clarisonic, trying it out, seeing what it can do for my skin, and then reviewing it for you guys. For those of you who haven't heard of the Clarisonic before, or maybe don't know what it's about, it is a sonic facial cleansing brush. Its claim to fame is that it's supposed to be 6 times better than manual cleansing. It also is supposed to help with the absorption of the other products that you put on your skin. So I was told that it gives 61% better absorption when you use this product as opposed to not, for your serums and moisturizers and whatnot. Now obviously I can't test that. That's all about the science, and there are a whole heap of other claims that you can check out from the brand. For me, all I can tell you about is my experience and what I've seen and what I've felt with using this brush. So in the box you do get, of course, the Mia 2, this little baby here. You also get a handy little plastic traveling case to take it with you. That was a nice little additive. I didn't have one of these before, so I do take my Clarisonic with me when I travel, so I thought that was a nice touch. You also get the charging cord, which is a magnetic charging cord. It's simple to do. All you have to do is attach it to the base, plug it in. The first time that you do get the Mia, you are supposed to charge it for 24 hours. That gives the battery its memory, and then after that you only need to charge it for about half that amount of time. Each charge is supposed to give you 25 to 30 uses, and I would agree with that. I find that I probably charge mine about once a month, which would be fairly standard if you're using it once a day. However, it is safe enough to use twice a day, and that is what I've been doing for the last week, and so far I'm really quite happy with the results. It also comes with a detachable brush head. The brush head that you get with the Mia 2 is a sensitive brush, which is supposed to be safe for pretty much all skin types. There are, I believe, 6 different brush heads in the range, with 2 new about to be released, and they vary based on different skincare needs. Like I said, sensitive is fairly safe for most skin. They do have the Luxe Cashmere, which I have used before. It's very, very soft and gentle. It's even safe enough to use if you have rosacea or other sort of skin issues. There is a normal brush head for those of you who can handle a little bit more. Maybe if you've got male skin, it's a little bit thicker and a little bit tougher. There's a delicate brush head, which is in between the Luxe Cashmere and the sensitive, if you want a little bit of a softer touch. There's also a deep pore cleansing one, which I'm yet to try, but I would like to. And then the 2 new that are coming out are the Radiance brush head, which I'm currently trialing, and also an acne specific one. And then there is the body brush. So that's what you get. In terms of using the brush, it's important to remember that it's not rotating or vibrating. It's not about exfoliation. It's just about deep cleansing. And the brush head here oscillates back and forth 300 times per second to really flex the pore and remove any excess dirt or oil, product, pollutants from the air, really give you that deep clean. The cleansing process only takes 60 seconds. You turn it on and you can hear it. There it is there, oscillating back and forth. You spend 20 seconds on your forehead, another 20 seconds down your T-zone along the nose and the chin, and then 10 seconds on each cheek, and you're done. It does have an inbuilt T timer that will guide you, so it beeps after the first 20 seconds, again after the second 20 seconds, and then the 10 seconds mark each, and then obviously it shuts off, so you know exactly how long to spend on each section of your face. The Mia 2 has 2 speeds, which can be changed by pushing a button, and is completely waterproof, so it can be used in the shower. You can use whatever cleanser you would like. In the box you do get a refreshing gel cleanser, a little sample here to try, and Clarisonic does have a range of cleansers, I believe. However, I've always just used the cleansers that I own. You can really use a gel, a cream, an oil, a foam. It just has to be something smooth, nothing with any grit. I know that in the past when I've talked about it, I've had people sort of worried about how it would affect their skin. Would it make them break out? Would it be too abrasive? And the answer to that is it really does depend on your skin. It is not made to be abrasive. Some people do experience sort of a purging stage at the very start when they use it, just as their skin gets used to having it cleansed in this particular way. Some people find it a little bit weird feeling, particularly around their nose. I honestly don't really remember experiencing any of that. I have been using it for so long that I don't notice. The key with anything like this is just to persevere, because you will see positive results in the end. They have done all the research. There's all these different stats about people saying that their pores look visibly reduced, that their skin looks more radiant. But for me, it's just about knowing that my skin is really clean, and that when I go on and put on my serum and my moisturizer or whatever else I put on afterwards, I know that it's actually reaching my skin and it's not being blocked up with a layer of other products. So in terms of testing, I've done 2 different tests. One of them we did the night that I received this, and it was at an event. We did a test on the back of our hand, used foundation on both, wet the skin. I used the same cleanser on one side of my hand and just used my hand to cleanse it. On the other side, I used the Clarisonic. And I was really cynical. I said that it wasn't going to work because I was like, we didn't have a basin. I didn't really get to wash it properly with any water. I was sort of spritzing water and using a tissue, and I'm like, this test is just, it's not going to work. I ate my words. I was so shocked. I saw the 2 different pads afterwards, and the Clarisonic one was pretty much completely clean, and the one that I'd used just my hand on, you could still see a whole heap of excess makeup on. So I did the same test on my face, 2 sides. One I cleansed with my hands, one I cleansed with the Clarisonic, and the proof was in the little pad at the end, because you could totally see that there was makeup left over on the side that I cleansed with my hand versus the side that I cleansed with the Clarisonic. Whether it was 6 times more, I don't know. You'd be the judge of that. You can tell that it left my skin a lot cleaner. And then the other test that I did was to do with makeup application. I set my alarm for 3 minutes earlier each morning. And obviously it only takes 60 seconds, but I move a little bit slower in the morning. So I gave myself an extra 3 minutes, and I made a point to get up each morning and cleanse my skin with the Clarisonic before I went in and did my usual makeup and went out the door. I was a little bit grumbly in the morning because I felt like it was sort of taking that little bit of extra effort, and I can be lazy in the mornings, but I did it. And even from the very first day, I noticed that my skin just felt that much smoother. I didn't have sort of the excess little bit of oil that usually builds up throughout the night for me. I didn't have any excess product that was left on my skin that I kind of just sort of slapped my moisturizer on top of and would have just gone about my day. I put my makeup on at 5:30 in the morning, and I don't get home until after 5:30 at night. So it's got to last me 12 hours. I use setting sprays, I use powders, but eventually it breaks down on me no matter what, because I do have combination oily skin. I feel like using the brush really did make my makeup last that little bit longer and just appear that little bit nicer. So I have now stuck to it. I'm still getting up those extra 3 minutes earlier, and even though it's cold, because we're currently in winter here and I have to splash cold water on my face because it takes forever for the water to heat up in my bathroom, I am making an effort to use my Mia just so that I have that smoother makeup application. So they are my thoughts on the Mia 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. If you have any questions or things that I've forgotten to answer, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you about my experience. Also, if you've used the Clarisonic, any of them, there are 4 in the range. This is the second. There's also the Mia, then you have the Clarisonic Aria, and then the Clarisonic Smart Profile, which is the most advanced of the 4 different brushes. And I'll put all the different information and details in the description box, as well as links, so if you wanted to purchase you can. But if you have tried, good or bad experiences, I don't mind, share them in the comments, because I'd like to get the conversation rolling about your experiences, and so everybody else can sort of hear what works best for them and what works best for you. Also, don't forget to check the description box for my social media links. I'd love to be able to say hi to you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And other than that, I'm going to go. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. My name is Rachel, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.